We're in the shop of Mr. Ralph Sharpless in Alba, Alabama, and he takes wood like this that's been discarded, or trees that's been wind thrown or damaged or removed from property, and he utilizes this wood in a very useful manner, and he developed several products from a piece of wood.
This first wood right here is some dogwood. It's bad about splitting. A lot of times I have to throw that away, but this is some black walnut, and then this is pecan, and this down here is some Bradford pear. So I'll try just about any kind of wood that I can find that's discarded by the road, that people throw away, the city cuts off. I try to salvage any of it to keep it going from the landfill, and I'll try to make something out of it. This was an old upright freezer that quit, was not repairable, so I brought it out to a shop, drilled some holes in it, and I put a light in the bottom for heat, and I put my wood in here for my final drying, and try to keep my temperature with my light up to about between 80 and 90 degrees, and it dries it a lot faster than it will out in the open. So this was just another unit that I salvaged. This is a lathe room. One thing interesting about a lathe that people are not aware of, it's just a little small thing here. When you're turning, an object is on its side. You don't think about being upright. You have to turn everything you see, and when you're shaping it, you have to turn it, everything has to be over on its side. And these knives, each one has a different shaped point on it. Each point has a specific use toward this shape.
Now this piece of wood what kind of wood is this you're turning right here?
This is a piece of cherry that somebody discarded down the street just a few days ago, and I'm trying it out, and it's beautiful wood. It's turned into some really pretty wood. That's going to be a bowl when I finish with it. It'll have bark around the top. I'm turning to keep, for my own protection, I use a face mask to keep the good dust out. I wear this. Sometimes a piece of bark, a piece of wood will fly off, and it can injure you. Before you know it, you can get hurt with it. So this face shield will protect my face. This will protect the dust, and this keeps a little bit of the dust off my clothes, because you do make a lot of sawdust when you're turning. This is pecan. This is my favorite wood. This is made for pecan, a little tree. And this is a candle holder, and a candle holder made from pecan wood. That's my favorite wood. And we like to work with dogwood. Is good. Maple is good. Local grown maple works good.
Okay, this is a bowl you made from a log.
From a log, okay. From a discarded piece of maple.
Now, how long does this take you to make something like this?
Depending on where you want to start. Well, you have to harvest your wood. You bring it in. After I get my wood on the lathe, I can turn this bowl probably in 3 or 4 hours time.
Okay.
Which have a lot of prep time getting your wood to the lathe.
So from the time you got this wood, you got it cut to the a piece of wood, and then you took and put it in your dryer, and you dried it for how long?
It depends on the wood itself, but it'll take me 3 to 6 months before the wood's ready to turn.
Okay.
And then it'll take me 3 to 6 hours to turn it, and then I'll put it back into the lathe to sand and put finishing on it, let it dry overnight, put another coat on it, and I'll do that 3 or 4 times to get my finish on it.
Okay, this has got a fine, smooth, shiny finish on it.
I can sand it on the lathe while it's turning.
This bowl here is quite unique here. We see several kind of woods in it. What kind of wood is in this bowl?
We got black walnut, maple, and sweet gum. Sweet gum makes good wood. It's pretty wood. And this light colored is maple, and this is black walnut. This is called a segmented bowl. You cut your segments at an angle depending on how many pieces. There's 12 pieces around here, so you cut. They're pie shaped. then you glue them together, and then you put it on the lathe, and eventually you turn it. Just about everything I do is turn on the wood lathe eventually, sooner or later.
It's got a regular bowl shape to it, and
Turn
quite a
it.
few individual pieces in there, a variety of pieces that
I think there's 61 pieces in that one.
61 pieces in that one bowl. That's a beautiful bowl right there. How many bowls do you make like this every year?
15 or 20.
And are these all custom orders, or you just make them all along and sell them, or?
Some of both. Occasionally I'll get a custom order, somebody want a certain size, certain kind of wood. But normally I'll just take some of my scrap wood that I have, and whatever the kind of wood is, that's what I make from it.
Okay. So if somebody,
I try not to throw anything away that I don't, that I can utilize.
okay. Later on, we'll show you your telephone number if somebody wants to call to order a bowl. But generally, how do you go about selling your products like this?
Just about most everything I do is through craft shows, local craft shows. We do one in Elba and Troy and Pike Road in Montgomery, and just local shows. It's about all I do. I don't like to do much custom work.
So they can look at you when you see in the newspaper a local craft show.
Look for our craft shows.
The next show will
probably be next spring in downtown Troy, Troy City Fest. April, I
I think
think.
it's the last weekend.
Okay.
Usually the last week in April.
So if you'd like a bowl like this, you might want to call Ralph and tell him to reserve you a bowl like this, and see him in Troy next spring. That's a beautiful bowl, Ralph.
It's fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd made a few pieces of furniture, and I saw this lathe sitting there, and I said, I believe that'd be fun. I started trying something on the lathe, and I don't make much else except whatever's turned on the wood lathe anymore. It's a lot of fun.
That's great. Now, your wife, Miss Pat, does she help you quite a bit?
She helps me. She'll go with me sometimes when I go harvest some of my wood. She'll go look after me while I'm trying to keep me from getting hurt. She likes that.
That's good to have somebody, except for safety reasons, to be with you when you're with a chainsaw or out in the woods.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of hazards when you're in the woods. How many years have you been involved in making these wood crafts like this?
About 8 years. After I built this shop here, I started buying my equipment, and then I started making some segmented bowls. Was one of the first things I made, and then a tree. I started making my tree, and then I still look for different things to make. Right now, I'm in the process of trying to make design and make some nutcrackers. I'm not much of a painter, so that may not work out because I don't enjoy the painting as much. So we'll see what happens with the nutcrackers.
Okay, now how did you learn to make a bowl like this? Did somebody teach you to do this, or did you see it in a magazine? Or?
I had seen one in a magazine, so I just sat down with my chair and my ruler and paper, and I said, I'm going to have to do a lot of figuring here to work this out. So my angles was hard to figure out, because when you figure an angle here with 12 pieces, and that's each angle is 30 degrees to make them fit. So each joint here each one has to be 15 degrees. So you cut each one at 15 degrees, and that'll give you 306 degrees for your circle.
That's right. It takes a little bit of mathematics.
It takes a little math behind it.
Yes. So young children watching this program or watching this video need to realize it's important to learn their math in school, because you're going to use it the rest of your life.
You never know what you're going to need it for.
That's right. Well, that's great. I've enjoyed visiting with you this morning and seeing some of your fine products here. And we look forward to probably seeing you at the craft show in the near future.
We appreciate it. Good to see you. I like to show my products, and I do demonstrations. I have a small lathe that I carry to some of my craft shows where they have electricity available, and I'll set up this little lathe on a table, and I'll sit here and all day long I'll pre-turn some stuff at home. When I carry these pre-turned pieces, I'll turn these pieces and finish them, and I have a lot of finished pieces, and I'll give these, using these little spinner tops. Sometimes I'll give away 30, 40 of these little spinner tops during the day to the little kids and showing them how a lathe works, what it is, the different kind of knives. So I use a lot of my craft shows for a teaching program, trying to get younger kids maybe get interested in it, and knowing that you do have to have math, and you need to know a little bit about forestry, and you need to know about using tools and using your hands. So it's interesting to me, and I enjoy giving these pieces away.
Okay, well that's great. Well, we've enjoyed being here today, and we look forward to seeing some new developments in the future.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you very much.
Well, you have a good day.